Today is World Elder Abuse Awareness Day, and this year's theme is Digital Equity for All Ages. Nation News spoke to the president of the Barbados Association of Retired Persons to see how they are tackling elder abuse.
When we think of abuse, we always think physical. Tell me about the different types of elder abuse.
Okay, you have sexual. One would not think that seniors would be sexually abused, but they are. You have physical, people throw them around, push them around. Sometimes on occasions they suffer broken limbs and all that. Because, as a senior you still have your rights. So if somebody pushes you, you're not going to just fall down. You're going to put up some resistance. So, there's sometimes they could suffer broken limbs. There's emotional abuse, which is so tiring because you can wear the person down by just nagging or quarreling about everything, and and it could be a bit much. It is really a bit much, particularly when you reflect on the contribution that the seniors would have made to society. To see them being abused in any form is distressing. And of course, there's the financial and material exploitation. This is fairly widespread because this is when people tend to use the person's checks. They forge the checks. They sometimes get access to their bank cards or their accounts, and as a result they drain their accounts unknown to them. And on occasion what happens as well, they encourage them to change like the land papers, their documents over to a caretaker or even a relative. And sometimes the person, because the perpetrator of the abuse is always someone that the seniors trust, they would go ahead with the idea. It's only at the end when they realize that they've been robbed, that they realize that, signing those documents or giving the access to the debit card or to the account was not a very good idea. So financial and material exploitation is very high on the list. And of course there's neglect, where persons, there are situations where people are just left alone. And I mean, nobody goes to check on them. Sometimes, as we speak here now, today on World Abuse Awareness Day, we might have some seniors somewhere. They have not even had a meal for the day. Chances are they will not get any either unless a neighbor is looking out. So then we have to rekindle this sense of community spirit. We have to encourage neighbors to look out for each other and help where necessary. Because let's get real, in Barbados, you could always get breadfruit, get yam. You could, when you are cooking, you could always include somebody else in that. Today, however, as we focus, we look at digital. The theme for this year is digital equity for all ages, and what is happening internationally and on the local scene. But because in the international arena, they have we did conduct research, and they have research. They collect all the information. They can say with clarity that the numbers of seniors that are being scammed with the online scams. So having recognized this now as a new form of abuse and a silent form of abuse, and it's affecting seniors 50 years and older. And why? Because yes, they are more vulnerable, and by nature we trust people. We don't ever expect anybody. You don't think somebody wants to rob you. It is to heighten the sense of digital awareness, and what we have done at BAR, in addition to the cybersecurity seminar that was held last week, we also educated our members how to use a Zoom platform. We had Zoom platform training, and I think it was in October we had the training, and some of our seniors shared with us in the January that they were able to speak to their grandchildren and send them kisses and touch the computer and all that for Christmas by sending greetings via Zoom. And we were very elated because initially most seniors felt very cut off because they couldn't get to access those grandchildren. So they were able to do that. We had a seminar earlier as well on the use of the telephone and showing seniors that you can use your phone for more than just a call, and that too was very well received. And our sponsors for that event was Flow, and what they did, they sent like 4 or 5 technicians so that we had that one-on-one, because it wasn't a situation where you just say something and everybody say, yeah, yeah, we got it. So you had to help them work through that situation. So that session was very well received. And coming up in the latter half of this year, we have the firm commitment from one of our partners to bring the ATM machine, to bring an ATM machine here at Bar. And by bringing this machine at Bar, it would allow our seniors, our members, to play with it. And I'm saying play with it because the ATM machine is very quick moving. And for seniors, they get very intimidated. So in an environment here at Bar, where there's a machine and you say, well, put in the card. You have a dummy card, put in the card, do this. Okay, you didn't get it right, take it back out so that they can build their confidence level up. So because having conversations with the financial institutions, they recognize that a lot of seniors are fearful of the ATM because, as I said, the ATM is very quick moving. You put in the card and sometimes before you can take the card out, before you can access the cash, the machine just starts to beep, 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 and that scares people as well. So at Bar, we recognize that it is very important to prepare our seniors for the digital space, and that is our commitment.
Meanwhile, chairman of the Advocates Against Domestic Violence, Barbara Daniel, whose mother reportedly suffered from elder abuse, shared how she felt Barbados should approach the matter moving forwards.
We need to increase our awareness. The thing about a day, which will happen once a year, is that we will put information in the newspaper, on the social media, the usual mediums. And, it's a 7-day wonder, even if it lasted that long. And after that, it just goes back as if it doesn't exist. So I think it's something that should be a constant reminder. Either infomercials on the various TV channels or on the radio. It needs to be a regular activity that constantly tells people to look after the elderly and what to do when you know or you feel someone is being abused. And when you report that, be confident that the people you report it to will actually take action, yeah, rather than just taking down your message and nothing happens, yeah. I mean, as an organization that deals with domestic abuse, we sometimes get calls from people who are not in a domestic abuse situation. And I remember getting a call from a young man where his mum was being abused by other family members, yeah, and and because the others were all part and parcel of it, he was very much on his own, yeah. And a lot of that was due to the house that when this old lady dies, everyone will become part of or fight over the house and land. And these are the things that really need to be addressed. We need to be cognizant of what is happening out there, that we're a level of society, and this can be due to not having access to funds or not having access to proper education. And then you have the upper echelons, because it happens in all aspects of class. So you will have the middle management, the middle class or the upper middle class, and there will be levels of abuse also. The difference is that when you could pay, you could have engage a nurse or nurses over a 24-hour period to look after your elderly, or you can go to the most expensive care home, or you can build a small one-bedroom studio place for the. So there's differences, but since the bulk of our population falls into a certain category, that is really what we're looking at.